Hi, teachers, and welcome to the Planet Spark demo training module. So happy to see you here. So, teachers, the reason that we are here today is for us to understand how to give a perfect demo so that you get 100% conversion out here. Now, what I've done is I've spoken to teachers who are doing extremely well within our platform. And from them, I've got some success mantras that I'm going to share with you. And these are also part of the audit parameters that I'll be taking you through. So let's have a look. Now, the parameters that we're going to look at are the aesthetics, how well groomed you are, your introduction, the way you talk about yourself, the rapport that you build with the child, with the parent, supremely important. The content, how good are you in presenting it, then the engagement. Are you able to have a connect with the child throughout the session, or is there a lot of dead air where the child is feeling bored? And that's where, we need to now work on. Then the closing, which is the most important part, really, along with your urgency, because that tells the parent why they should choose you as the teacher. And then, yes, the overall, aspect that is looked upon is the communication skills that you have, the way you are able to intonate and present yourself, and the energy level that you carry. So let's go through all of these in detail.
Here, do you have any clue about that?
No.
No clue at all? Okay, so before I tell you all about what we'll be doing in the class and why have we gathered here, would you like to know a little about me?
Okay.
Okay, but before that, you have to tell me a little about yourself. Will that work?
Yes.
Okay, so Anargya, I'm just here. I want to know a little about you. So I just know your name that is reflecting on the screen. Can you tell me a little more about yourself?
Right, teachers, let's talk about the aesthetics. But before I get there, would want to talk to you about why is the demo important? Now, picture yourself in a situation where you want to watch a movie. Would you go for a movie that you did not like the trailer for? You wouldn't, right? So similarly, the parent will only choose you if they like what they see, and your demo teacher is your trailer. This is why it's very, very important. And it starts with the aesthetics, the first visual appeal. So you need to be formally dressed, you need to be well groomed. Very important for the parent to know that you're not just someone who's taking a class from their home, from their bedroom, or from their study room. They need to know that, yes, you are here to help the child and the environment seems professional enough. You need to have good classroom ethics, which means you need to make sure your mobiles are on mute, you have all the appropriate tabs open. Make sure that your laptop is charged. There shouldn't be an instance where your battery is draining, it shuts off, and you need to join in again, or you tell the parent that I would want a few minutes so that I could charge my laptop again. So these are some things that we should avoid. It needs to be a well lit room. We wouldn't want the child to strain their eyes and find out what are you trying to say. And then the angle of your camera, that's very, very important, teachers. You shouldn't be placed at the side and there's a lot of gap beside you, or you're sitting somewhere at the bottom of your screen and then they can see the whole part of it above, because that gets distracting. They can see the aesthetics of your own house. Again, it gives the atmosphere of a very homely environment, which is something we are not trying to display. And your room needs to be extremely silent. There should be no distraction. So if you have your family members around, you need to request them to stay away for a bit. So those 50 minutes, teachers, that's your trailer. Very, very important. All right, teachers. So let's look at the demo session that we are observing. If I have to talk about the aesthetics, the teacher did a brilliant job in being formally dressed. She was well groomed. It was a well lit room. There was no need for the child to strain, or the teacher, there was no shadow. The teacher was seen clearly. What could have been, better would be the camera angle. So if you see, the teacher's photo frames can be seen. There's a lot of room above her that gets a little distracting. So that could have been an area where the teacher could have worked on. And in between, we'd also see that the battery does get drained out of the laptop. That is something, teachers, we really need to avoid. Apart from that, all the other aesthetic parameters were followed. And this is what is required to give 100% in our demos.
My mother is a doctor.
Wow.
My
All
father
right.
is a scientist. I want to be a badminton player when I grow up.
Okay. And?
My role models are Lee Chong Wei, Lin Dan,
And your mom. Wow, that sounds wonderful, Anargya. Okay, so now what if I show you my arm? Can you see my arm? My fist, my fingers. What if I get into a fist? Show me your palm. Quickly show me your palm. Now get it into a fist. Now we are going to answer some questions, and when we answer those questions, our fist will start opening. Magic. Okay. So first tell me your name, Anargya.
Anargya.
My name is Anargya Jain. Full
My name-
sentence we'll want, all
My
right?
name is Anargya Atul Lohade.
Second, your class and your age.
I am 10 years old. I study in 5th standard.
Lovely. About your family.
My little brother is very naughty. My mother is a doctor and an excellent cook. My father is a scientist.
Lovely. Okay, now your favorite sport.
Badminton.
Full sentence. I want to listen to the full
My
sentence.
favorite sport is badminton.
And what's your favorite food?
Food. Pizza.
Pizza. My favorite food is pizza. Did you notice your fist open and your palm is already here? So this is palm technique wherein you introduce yourself. You use this to introduce yourself. So Anargya, whenever someone asks you about yourself, use this palm technique to talk about yourself. Great. All right. So you'll always remember this? Okay, that's a deal. Can I take a high five? Yes. All right.
All right, teacher. So let's get to the introduction. What is the introduction? The introduction is the start of your demo class. It's very important at this point of time to establish with the child as well as the parent what is going to be the agenda of the entire demo session. So when I talk to the child, before I even interact really with the child, I need to acknowledge the presence of the parent out there. If you do not see the parent, please ask the child to call the parent. And when you do see the parent, you can tell Mrs. Agarwal, for example, so nice to see you here, Mrs. Agarwal. I'm sure you'd enjoy the demo session. And towards the end, I'll have a very quick word with you. Teacher, this is nothing but rapport building out here, right? So you're starting the introduction, you're starting your demo on a high this way. The next would be you tell the child why are you there. You can talk a little about yourself with the child, and then, yes, the child can also tell you about themselves. The entire this entire bit is to get the child simply comfortable with you and for you to also understand what is it that you can do for the child to make the rest of the demo special. Now, considering the demo we are looking at, everything was done perfectly except for two parameters that could have been worked upon. One was, the teacher missed out on acknowledging the presence of the parent, which is very important, as I just told you. And the next would be to also welcome the child and the parent. It it feels good. I mean, all of us feel good when we enter a supermarket or we enter any festival or a function. If someone welcomes us, we enter with a hi, and that is what we want to do.
Now I would like to tell you about myself. Would you like to know that? Yes or no? I didn't get
Yes.
it. Okay, so my name is Prerna and I'm your learning buddy for the day. Now, what's a buddy, Anargya?
Friend.
Okay, so will you take me as a friend for just one day? Maybe we become very good friends. You think I'll be able to make up a good friend?
Maybe.
Oh,
I
we'll
don't
give
know
it
much about you as a
All right. So we'll give it a try. We'll give it a try. All right. Okay. So Anargya, I have to ask you a few questions. Will you answer those questions? Okay. So just two simple questions. Would you like to be a scientist or would you like to be a sports person?
sports person.
Why?
Because it's fun.
It's fun. All right. Do you like to play video games or do you like to go and play out in the park?
I like to play outside.
That's wonderful answer. Do you know what is the reason behind playing out in the park, or it's just a choice? Like, do you have some specific reason that why do you like to go out and play in the park, or
I
just
can
like
get
that?
fresh air and have a lot of fun with my friends.
Lovely. You are a smart boy. You know why one should go out and play in the park. All right. Do you like listening to stories?
like reading stories.
That is even better. That shows that you're a big boy now. You don't like to listen to stories, but you like to tell stories. All right, which one?
Read.
Read stories. Perfect. So I'm going to show you something, and then we are going to walk on a journey wherein you will answer some questions. We will have lots of fun, and by the end of it, we are going to discover something new. Is that okay? All right.
All right, teachers, let's come to the next one. It's the rapport building. Now, why is rapport building important? Because throughout the demo, the child should feel connected to you, even the parent. So it's very important that whenever I can, I need to make the child and the parent feel like I know what's happening and I'm here to help. And that can only happen when you build good connect. So, teachers, one of the first things that you need to do is introduce yourself as the learning buddy to the child. And while you're talking, make sure that the child is understanding what you're saying. So if you're using fancy words and the child can't understand, teacher, I request that you change it up a little bit. Let the child be able to identify to you. And the next would be engaging with the child. The child needs to understand that you are here to help them. So if they do not know, they are a little hesitant to answer, they should be able to come up to you and say, ma'am, can you help me? Or I do not know, rather than just sit still. So if you maintain the first 2 points, teachers, coming to the third point will be very easy, because if you maintain the first and the second, you've automatically created a positive learning environment for the child. The child feels like, yes, this is someone I can open up to. This is my buddy. This teacher is not like the ones I have at school. I can really talk to her. And that is very important, teachers. So when we consider the demo that we are looking at, we can see that the teacher has done this very nicely. It's a brilliant job, actually. She's introduced herself really well to the child. She's got a good engagement going on with the child, and she's created a very positive attitude. Now, even when the child was a little hesitant to introduce himself, did you see how she was innovative out here? She introduced a technique that is not really given to you, right, in your PPTs, but she thought about something on her own. She thought about the palm technique, where you need to open up your fingers and then yet how you've introduced yourself to someone. So this is what we're supposed to do, teachers. We need to get out of our comfort zones and build a connect this way. So if you do that, you will see that the child is able to connect with you and then can identify with things that you are teaching. So teachers, please be very vigilant about this. That the way you talk to the child should be in a way that the child can connect with you. And also, teachers, the environment that you create, the support that you give is very important. If you say that you are a buddy, it means that whenever the child is not able to say something, teacher, you should step in and help the child. If you're playing a game with the child, it doesn't matter if the child doesn't know. It's not that the child is losing the game, right? You are there. You are the child's friend, and you are going to help the child overcome this hurdle. So I hope this is something that we will work upon, teachers.
So let me share my screen with you, Anargya. I need to share my screen. All righty. Just a second. Mm. Just 1 minute, Anargya. I'm sharing my screen, all right? And voila! What do you see in front of you?
A photo.
All right. And what is written on that photo, Anargya?
Become a confident public speaker.
What is a public speaker? And who is a public speaker? Do you have any clue about it?
A public speaker who is a person who speaks in public.
Wow. And what is public?
A lot of people around you.
A lot of people around you. So I'll reveal a secret to you. Even if you're speaking in front of 4 people, that's public speaking. Because because you're trying to convince someone with your views. You are telling the person about what you feel and you want people to agree with you. All right. So whenever you are talking with 3, 4, 5 people and you want them to listen to you want them to agree to you, then that's public speaking. Have you ever done that ever in school? Narika, have you ever given any speech or debate in front of your classroom or maybe in front of the entire school?
Yes.
Have you done? Okay, what was the topic? I want to know.
I sang a poem.
You recited a poem. And we don't say poem, we say a poem. All right, you recited a poem. Wow, what was the poem about?
I forgot. It was 4 years ago.
It was 4 years back, and since then you've never spoken in front of the entire class?
In online classes also we used.
I've never spoken since then in front of the entire school, but I've spoken and did many things in my class.
Okay, fine. Just a second. All right. Now, is this something that Anargya just told me?
Yes.
Okay. So can you read this to me all over again?
My name is Anarkya. I am 10 years old. I am in grade 5. In my free time, I like reading books, watching TV, and going down to play.
Lovely. Okay, I just love it what you just told me. All right. Now, Anargya, we are going to follow some rules today. So since we are going to involve into multiple activities, there are little rules that we would follow. So if you understand everything, you'll show me a thumbs up. By any chance, if you don't understand something and you want me to repeat it, you'll show me a thumbs down, which I would assume that Anargya wants me to repeat the entire thing all over again. All right? Sounds good?
Yes.
Show me the sign then if it sounds good. Okay. All right. Okay. So now you told me that you have recited a poem in front of the class once, but would you like to learn like how do you communicate in front of others, or how do you give excellent speeches so as people are just awestruck with what you say and they just end up clapping, applauding what you did? So would you like to learn that art? Okay, I like it. Okay, you just told me that you like to play games. So, you like to read stories as well. So, if I ask you the question, because I need a consent all over again. So, do you like to play games?
What kind of games?
Any kind of game, child. Any kind of game. Any kind of game. All right. So in that sense, you have put me into a question. Is there any kind of game that you don't enjoy playing?
Cricket.
You don't enjoy playing cricket, and what is the reason behind it?
It takes a lot of power to hit shots.
So you should be a strong boy. If it requires a lot of strength, we must gain that strength.
But we get tired just after a few minutes.
Okay, so then you should ask Mama to give you 3 glasses of milk a day so that you become very powerful and you don't get tired while playing cricket.
I don't like milk.
We'll add chocolate powder to it. Is that okay then? Okay, so when Anargya has hot chocolate milk, then he gets a lot of power and strength. And when he gets a lot of power and strength, then he can play cricket and he wouldn't get tired. Sounds good? Okay, so that's a deal, Anargya. When we meet next time, you will be telling me that I've started to play cricket because I've started to consume 3 glasses of milk a day with a lot of chocolate powder in it.
3 glasses is too much. 1 glass is enough.
one you're already having. Yeah, tell me.
I don't have 1 glass of milk every day.
Really?
It's very rare for me to drink milk.
That is why you're unable to play cricket. So now it's a deal that Anargya will have 1 glass of milk in the morning and 1 glass of milk in the evening, and Mama is going to put hot chocolate in that. Then Anargya is going to enjoy that. Deal? Deal? Anargya, is that a deal? Yes. Now you're a man of words and you are not going to forget it. All right? Gentlemen never forget their words. So I am going to call Mama and I'm going to ask, is Anargya having 2 glasses of milk or not?
But first you should have a number.
I'll take your mom's number. You will only give me her number by the end of the session. All right? Okay. All right. So let's proceed. Okay. So Anya, the fun game, the first game that we are going to play is known as Story Chain. Now, do you know we play a game in which we have to hold hands and then we run?
Chain.
No.
Yeah? You forgot.
No? All right. Okay. So I'll teach you this game in which, in this, what happens? I will show you a picture. All right. I will show you a picture, and then we are going to be the two people who will build a story chain. Chain means, you know how chains are connected with each other, one after the other. You know that, right? So similarly, we will try to build up a story. You just told me that you like to read stories. You told me that, right? You told me that, right?
Yes.
Okay. So would you like to create your own story?
Yes.
Okay, you will like to create your own stories. Fine. So for that, we are going to walk hand in hand. One sentence will come from me. The other sentence will come from you. Then one sentence will come from me and the other sentence will come from you. Is that good?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So here comes the secret. Oh my God. What a beautiful picture we have on the screen. Do you like the picture?
Yes. A lot.
Okay, a lot. Fine. So I would be the first one speaking about the picture. Anarki, I want to tell you one thing here. So every story has characters and settings. Have you heard of it?
Yes.
Okay, so what is a character?
A character is someone who is part of the story.
Perfect. It can be a person or an object or a superpower, superhero, anything. Anything can be a character, right? And what is a setting, Anarki? Can you tell me what's a setting?
Setting is the background behind the story or character.
Okay, the place where the story takes place is known as the setting. All right. So now we don't know about the characters, so you have the liberty to introduce the character to the story. All right, to the story, but we know the setting. So can you see the setting?
The setting is an ocean with two islands.
Okay, perfect. And can you see a ship also? Like there's a ship. Can you see a pink cursor moving on the screen?
Yes. Yes.
And can you see this pink cursor coming to the ship?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so Anargya will assume that this is a pirate ship. Wow, adventure story, right? This, you know who are pirates? Do you know who are pirates?
They loot for treasures.
Exactly, the sea dacoits. So the sea dacoits or the sea robbers are known as pirates. All right, you know they have that characteristic one eye covered with black cloth, right? Yes, I can see Anarg doing that. All right, fine. So this is a pirate ship. Now, I will take the first sentence, Anarg. You will pull it forward. All right. Once upon a time, there was a mystery island, far, far away from humans' reach. Did you understand?
There, nobody could go except mighty pirate Blackbeard.
Okay, mighty pirate Blackbeard. Okay, now that island had loads and loads of treasure. Your turn.
And pirate Blackbeard was going to do anything in his power to find all of that treasure.
All right. But the treasure was protected by a mighty soul because the mighty soul knew that the pirate wouldn't use it for good purpose. Your turn.
The mighty soul's name was Angelica.
Angelica. My goodness, what a fancy name you've got. Angelica. Has it come from Angelica?
No,
No.
I just made it up by myself.
All right. Okay. So the mighty ghost soul's name was Angelica. One day. So now we are introducing a problem to the story. All right, Anargya, we are trying to introduce a problem because without a problem, the story will be so boring. Would you ever like to watch a movie wherein there is no problem? Would you like to watch a movie? No, that gets very boring. So we are going to introduce a problem here. Now, one fine day, Angelica lost her power for a day. And that was the day when pirate tried to rob the island of its treasure. Then,
But the treasure was very far away from where Pirate Blackbeard was sailing. So he had no chance of finding the treasure before Angelica regains her powers.
all right, pirate was a strong person. He thought, I will not give up. So he tried hard and hard. And with his efforts, with his hard work, he reached the place where he could get the treasure. Your turn.
But the treasure was very deep inside the sea, and it was almost midnight. So Angelica was about to get her powers back.
Okay, so when the pirate was about to reach close to the depth of the sea where the treasure was kept, Angelica got her powers back. And along with the other powers, she had the power to emit lasers when someone tried to loot the treasure.
So, um, when Pirate Blackbeard got close to the treasure, Angelica fired her lasers and Pirate Blackbeard died.
And then Angelica saved the treasure from a pirate who wanted to use the treasure for incorrect and inappropriate purpose. Last line will come from you because we have come to the end. The pirate has died.
The end.
All right. Since after that, no one and Angela. So let's give it a funny. Let's give it a very interesting closing. After that, Angelica, seeing that okay, my treasure can be looted by inappropriate people, she created a bar, an invisible bar around the treasure. And since then, no one has ever been able to come even close to the treasure. So, Angelica, along with her treasure, lived happily ever after on the island, Mystery Island. Now it's the end. How was it?
Nice.
Nice. So, my goodness, Anargya, you have created your own story. And this story you can share with your friends. And you know who's going to be the author of this story? So, every book has an author, you know, right?
Yes.
Every book has an author. So, now you can go and brag to your friends that, see, I've learned the art of creating a story. And this story is created by me, and I'm the author of the story. Sounds good, right?
But I want to write a very big story.
So we can introduce multiple events in the story. Right now we were running short of time, right? So we had to complete the story in given time. Now then,
I'll write my own story afterwards.
okay, and then will you share it with me, because I would like to see how much has Anargya absorbed from this activity and learned from this activity. So what have you learned from this activity, Anargya? Can you tell this to me? Like, what have you learned? If I may ask you.
Making stories is fun.
Making stories is fun, and every story has 3 parts: beginning,
Middle,
yes,
and
ending, and it also has characters.
characters and settings.
Okay, and if we want to increase the story in length, we can introduce multiple events in it. All right. Okay, now that was great job done. Now that's the challenge time. The challenge time is that if you had to tell the same story using different voice and using hands. So you know what is this known as, Anargya?
Sign language.
Body language. That is known as body language. So if you want to become a very good story narrator, or if you want to become a very good story speaker, then a teller, then you have to include your hands also while telling the story. So in next 3 minutes, we will quickly tell the same story using our hands and face and eyes. Do you think we'll be able to do that?
Maybe.
Oh, we'll give it a try. And you are going to do that. I'll just take it one. I'll just tell one sentence and then you'll pull it off. Once upon a time, in a mighty island, there was a. What was the beginning of the sentence? Quickly tell me if you remember.
Once upon a time, there was a mystery island far away from humans' reach.
Yes. So once upon a time, there was a mystery island far away from humans' reach. Now, Anargya will tell me the story using the.
Nobody but mighty pirate Blackbeard could get near it.
Use your hands. Nobody, but
Nobody
my. Hmm.
but mighty pirate Blackbeard could get near the island.
Okay, he got to know there's a lot of treasure hidden in the island.
But
Change.
but there was a problem. A mighty soul named Angelica guarded the treasure.
Okay, you need to change your voice, baby. You need to change your voice. You need to use your hands because that is body language. That is very important when you're telling a story. All right. So how would you do that? Quick.
But there was a mighty soul that that guarded the treasure, so Pirate Blackbeard could never get it.
But one day, Angelica had lost her powers for a day and she was not close to the treasure. That was the day.
So Pirate Blackbeard knew he had the chance to get to the treasure and loot it. But
Okay.
there, but then it was almost midnight till he reached the place where there was the treasure. And
And
Angelica was about to get her powers back.
then you carry it forward. You know the story. Use your hands, use your voice,
So
use your
Pirate
eyes.
Blackbeard thought, oh no, Angelica is going to return more powerful. So what should I do now?
Okay. So then he plans to loot it as soon as possible. But the moment he was about to lay his hands on the treasure, Angelica regained her powers. And then she emitted.
Very harmful lasers that shot out uh, uh, to anybody who was near the treasure.
All
So
right.
Angelica fired her uh, lasers and uh, Pirate Blackbeard died. The end.
Oh. And since then, since Angelica got to know that her island could be looted, she guarded her island with a special rays that was not visible, and no one got to know that there's an island where there's a lot of treasure. So since then, Angelica lived happily ever after on her.
Mystery Island.
Lovely. All right. Excellent performance. Anargya, that was too good. Okay, so can you tell me what did you do really well here?
Making the story
And changing your voice as well. You were able to change your voice?
a little bit.
Yeah, so see, you know also where you need to improve. You know that you have to improve in your voice and you have to put more of body language when you're giving a speech or when you're telling a story, right?
All right, teachers, the next comes content. Now, content is also very important because it tells the parent and the child what our classes are going to be like, how the interaction is going to be like. So, you need to go through the PPT teacher before you meet the child. You need to be well versed with what's happening. You need to use the correct PPT. See, we always update and upgrade what we already have. And for y'all to ensure that you have the latest one, please make sure you update your LMS all the time and you check for any new updates that are there. The next would be that during the demo session, you need to deliver your content in a way that is engaging for the child, in a way that the child is excited about what's coming next. So teachers, let's look at, the demo class that we have in front of us, right? So in this demo, we had a very enthusiastic child. The child was able to build brilliant connect with the teacher. So as a teacher, I need to now assess this child and understand what more can I do for this child. So, although the teacher followed a brilliant practice throughout, she had good engagement with the child, she was well versed with her content. There were places that there could have been, a better challenge place for the child. So, when the child already knows something, teacher, you need to challenge the child, because then you'll have a parent come back to you and say that everything that you taught in the demo class, my child already knew. I need to justify why these classes are important, not only for a child who doesn't know, but also for a child who's already well versed. So I need to know if I am talking about a particular picture talk or a particular speech, I should build a challenge for the child. How would you do this if a situation is placed in this way in front of you? So this is something that could have been exhibited in this particular demo session where the child, very boldly said that this is the end now. There's nothing more. The teacher very politely laughed it off, but it could have had some more context to it where you put a challenge, or you ask him to say something in a different voice. You make it a little more interesting and challenging for the child. Apart from that, teachers, if you have a child who's not able to understand the content, you need to be so well versed that you can help this child build a connect with the content. I'll give you an example of one of the PPTs that we do have for the junior level, where there's a picture of a farm. Now, if I know that the child in front of me does not speak English, is not able to build a sentence, maybe I help the child a little instead of, probing and saying, no, no, now you tell me what is the next sentence. What is it that you could say next? Instead of doing that, maybe I take a pause here and ask the child, hey, let's play I Spy. Let's see, let me tell you something. I spy with my little eye something white, fluffy, and it gives us wool. And then maybe the child says it's a sheep. But say the child's level is a little lower than that, I can ask the child, can you please pick out, white colored animals out here? And if I know that the child can't even do that, maybe I just sing Old MacDonald with the child and ask the child, to enact some of the sounds that the animals make. So, teachers, this is what is very important. Your content is not only what's on the PPT, but how you deliver it and build a connect with the child. So, please keep this in mind. Be well versed. Know what comes next. Know how to present it and be up to date.
Okay, now coming to the next part. So you know what, when I was telling you that Anargya, use your hands, Anargya, use your face, Anargya, use your eyes, what is that known as? Like,
Body language.
that is known as body language, and that is language of the body. So Anargya knows English. I'm sure Anargya knows English. What is the other language that Anargya knows?
Hindi, Marwadi,
And
a bit of Telugu and Marathi.
Marathi also. All right. So Anargya already knows many languages. Now I thought I will introduce one more language to Anargya, which is language of body, which is known as body language. And for that, you don't have to open your mouth. You just communicate with the help of your face, your hands, your eyes, and your voice. Okay. So now, my next question. Whenever you are telling a story, apart from using your hands, your eyes, and your face, you can also use your voice. Now, how do you use your voice, Anargya?
While talking and singing.
Okay, now read what's written here. I want you to read it here.
Speaking loudly, clearly, and pausing when required.
Yes, so if you want people to pay attention to you, it is important that you speak loud and clear and take pauses when required. So we don't have to catch a train that we are running. We can take pauses when required, right? And when you put all these things together, what you get? A confident speaker. When you put your body language, when you put your speech, and when you put your voice together, you get a confident speaker. All right? Getting it? All right. Okay, now. So, now, whenever you are giving a speech, Anargya, these are the 3 pillars of public speaking. Whenever you are standing in front of someone and whenever you're giving a speech, people get influenced by you only when you have a good body language, So what are the parts of body language I just told you? Tell me the 3 parts of body language.
Face, eyes, and hands.
Perfect. And when you have a good voice, and when you put your body language and voice together, you get confidence. So when 3 things are put together, you become a very good public speaker. So in order to make people listen to you, Anarghya, it is important that you have these 3 key pillars of public speaking. All right. So do you want to be a good public speaker, like who people want to listen to and all?
Yes.
You want to be that, right?
But I don't want to be too famous.
But why you don't want to be very famous? Who do you idolize?
Lee Chong-wei, badminton player.
Okay. Do you think is he famous or he's not famous?
Very.
Very famous. So if he also thought like you, then you wouldn't have known him only. So in today's world, Anargha, it's very important to be famous. And you can only, one of the easiest ways to get famous is to be a good public speaker. All right. So when you talk in a very impressive manner, when you go on stage and give speeches, and people look at you and they tell you that, oh, we also want to be like this person. And then automatically you become famous. Right? Okay. So now are you ready for game number 2?
Yes.
Now, you know what is the game number 2? How would you know? I haven't told you yet. All right. So let me tell you. So Anarka, do you know who's this person?
No, I don't.
You don't know. Okay. So tell me one thing, Anarghya. Do you know what is the name of our planet?
Earth.
Earth. Do you think, like, are we harming the planet to some extent? Like, are we exploiting our planet?
A lot.
A lot. So just like you, this girl also felt the same. This little girl also felt the same, that we are spoiling our earth with human activities. And if we continue to do the same, we will have no home to live in, because earth is our home, right? So you know what she did? She thought of telling the whole world that we should stop doing it right away. And hence, she is the youngest environmentalist. You know who's an environmentalist?
Who works to make the earth better?
Exactly. So, you know, this girl, her name is Greta Thunberg. What's her name?
Greta Thunberg.
Yes, and she's the youngest environmentalist. So she has been working for years in a row to protect the environment. And she gives speeches. You just told me that you don't want to be famous, but if you want to protect the earth, or if you want to do good in your life, it is important to learn the art of giving speech. All right. So she gives speeches, and one of her speeches got very famous. That in that speech, she's asking everyone, "How dare you spoil my earth?" And that speech got very famous. You want to listen to that speech? Okay. So I'm going to show that to you. Just give me a moment. But when you watch that speech, you will identify the body language of Greta Thunberg, the confidence of Greta Thunberg, and the voice of Greta Thunberg. Will you do that? So what are the 3 things that you are going to identify, Anarghya, when you'll be watching
Body
the video?
language, confidence, and voice.
Perfect. All right. So just let me make you walk through that speech. For that, I need a moment of yours. Just give me a second. All right. Just a moment. I'll have to open that for Anarghya. Okay, here we have okay, so I'm going to share my screen, Anarghya. All right. Okay, now can you see this? Can you see Greta Thunberg on the screen?
Yes.
Okay. Now look at her expressions. Remember, you have to look at her. You have to identify three things: her body language, her voice, and her expressions. All right? So I'm going to play this for you. Now let me know.
और एग्जाम कैसी रही तुम्हारी?
ठीक ही थी, हम देखते हैं.
कहीं पे बैठ के चाय पिए?
My message is that we'll be watching you.
Can you hear her, Anarghya?
This is all wrong. I shouldn't be up here. I should be back in school on the other side of the ocean. Yet you all come to us young people for hope. How dare you? You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words, and yet I'm one of the lucky ones. People are suffering. People are dying. Entire ecosystems are collapsing. We are in the beginning of a mass extinction, and all you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth. How dare you? For more than 30 years, the science has been crystal clear. How dare you continue to look away and come here saying that you're doing enough when the politics and solutions needed are still nowhere in sight? You say you hear us and that you understand the urgency. But no matter how sad and angry I am, I do not want to believe that. Because if you really understood the situation and still kept on failing to act, then you would be evil, and that I refuse to believe. The popular idea of cutting our emissions in half in 10 years only gives us a 50% chance of staying below 1.5 degrees and the risk of setting off irreversible chain reactions beyond human control. 50% may be acceptable to you, but those numbers do not include tipping points.
All right, Anarghya, we'll just watch this much. Okay, now I'm going to ask you some questions. Will you answer my questions? Okay, so Anarghya, tell me, what did you notice in this video? I can't hear you. Are you on mute?
She is very angry and sad because the earth is getting destroyed.
And she's asking everyone, what is she asking?
She's asking everyone to do good things that might save the earth.
Yeah, and she's also angry, and to show her anger, what is she saying again and again?
How dare you?
How dare you spoil my earth? How dare you take away my dreams and my childhood? Right? So Anarghya, did she use body language, child?
No.
She was angry, right? So
Yes,
you
yes.
see her face, her expressions were
Yes,
angry,
yes.
right? Did she change her voice?
Yes,
Did she look confident?
a little.
Huh? she's did you see how many people were clapping when she was saying this?
She looked a bit nervous to me. I don't know why.
She was
She
sad.
wasn't nervous, she's angry, Anarghya. She's very angry.
Sad.
So she followed the body language completely. That if you're talking on a topic that's very sensitive and that requires an action to be taken, then you have to show anger. If it was a happy topic, then you are supposed to talk like that. So this is the magic of body language. You have to match your expressions with what you're speaking. Right? So she was talking about that. She thought that, okay, all you humans are causing a lot of harm to my earth, and hence I'm angry with you. All right. Now, Anarghya, she changed her voice. She looked angry. She, of course, was confident. Did you see how many people were clapping when she was speaking? And I want to draw your notice here, Anargya, because so many people were clapping hands, that is why she's famous. So we have to get famous. Don't even think that I don't want to get famous. We have to get famous by good actions, by doing good things in our lives, right? Okay, so now I'm going to give you a task, Anargya. Now you have to do a task. It's not only listening and not acting, huh? You have to act also. So what is your task? Your task, I am telling you, your task is giving the same speech. Okay? Giving the same speech like her.
I need to watch it a lot of times.
No, I will give you the script. Don't worry. I will not make it that difficult for you. I'll keep it very simple. You just have to follow body language. That you can do, right?
Yes.
Okay. So now keep in mind, Anargya, that you have to follow body language here. All right. And these, you have to follow body language. You have to follow confidence and you have to follow voice. And then you will see that everyone will be clapping. So we just watched the speech. Did we watch the speech?
Yes.
All right. Now, you have told me about your observation also, that what did you observe? All right. Now, what we are going to do, we are going to give the same speech. How we are going to give the same speech? Because I have got the script for you. So it's not going to be difficult for you. Is it clearly visible, Anargya?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So you don't have to speak the entire thing if you're not willing to. Just speak till here. Can you see the pink cursor moving on the screen?
Yes.
Okay, so you just have to speak first two paragraphs, but I want you to change your voice. I want you to look angry because this is a topic of concern. And I want you to show expressions, hand gestures. All right? So tell me, in a count of 3, 2, 1, we will begin. Is that good? Is it good?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Anargya, 3, 2, 1, go.
My message is they will be watching you. This is all wrong. I shouldn't be up here. I should be back in school on the other side of the ocean. Yet you all come to us young people for hope. How dare you?
Very
You have
good.
stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words. And yet I'm one of the lucky ones. People are suffering and people are dying. Entire ecosystems are collapsing. And we are in the beginning of a mass extinction. And all you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth. How dare you?
You want to read further? Is it
This is all
interesting?
wrong. For more
Okay.
than 30 years, the science has been crystal clear. How dare you continue to look away and come here saying that you're doing enough? When the politics and solutions needed are still nowhere in sight. You say you hear us, but and that you understand the urgency. But no matter how sad and angry I am, I do not want to believe that. Because if you really understood the situation and still kept on failing to act, then you would be evil, and that I refuse to believe.
Lovely. You were too good. Have a clap. Clap for yourself, Anargya. Very good. Clap. Lovely. All right. So do you think you were able to include body language and anger and expressions into your voice and face?
I think.
Yes, you did. But of course, we have to do a little bit more better, right? We can be better. We can learn how to use our hands. We can learn how to look more confident. We can learn how to incorporate more expressions into our voice, right? Would you like to learn that, Anargya?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Now, there are two parts, how to give a speech and how to write a speech. So for that, what do you do? Every speech is made up of 3 parts, Anargya. That is, what are the 3 parts?
Ethos,
Pathos and logos.
logos.
Yes. So ethos means developing trust, like wherein you develop trust with the audience. All right. Whoever you are giving speech to, they should believe you. Right? Then there is pathos. Means, you know what are emotions, Anargya?
Yes.
Okay, what are emotions? Tell me.
It's the feelings that we express.
Yes. So we have to connect with the emotions of the people who are listening to us. All right. And then the third one is logos, which means you have to give a proof that why should they believe you that you whatever you're saying is correct? Why would they trust you? So for that, you have to give some proof, and that is known as logos. Now we are going to learn that in further sessions that we are going to meet for. And how do we include these three parts into our speech, and hence we become more powerful. All right. But just now I'll give you a brief description that, for example, say, I'll tell you a simple story. So you come and tell your mom that, Mom, I found out this new pizza place. It has pizza stores all over India. All right. So now, when you said that the pizza store has stores all over India, it means it's a famous thing. It is a famous thing. That is why it has stores all across India. So
Yes.
then your mom will trust you. Oh, since this pizza shop has shops all over India, it means it gives you wonderful pizzas. So when you said that it has pizza stores all over India, your mom trusted you. So that is what is ethos. Ethos. You said something for which your mom trusted you. All
But
right.
what if somebody is actually pranking you?
All right. If you're pranking your mom, but still you have developed a trust because you said that, okay, it has stores all across India and your mom trusted you. So this is developing trust. All right. Then your mom thought that, okay, even if it has pizza store all over India, maybe it does not serve the topping that I like. So your mom was getting emotional, Anargya, that, oh, this pizza store is very famous, but Anargya, it does not give the toppings of my choice. So she was getting sad. And then you made her happy by telling her that, no,
That
mom. Yes.
it gives every topping that is available on pizza.
Perfect. So when you said this, your mom was happy. And this is pathos, that you produced something that made your mom happy, that connected with your mom. So first you used ethos, wherein you told your mom that, okay, this has pizza stores all across India. Then you used emotion when you said, oh, no, mom, I'll get the choice of toppings that you want. All right. Now, third is the logos. Now, mama will think, okay, why will I trust Anargya? So, you say, mom, not only does it give toppings, it also comes with healthy vegetables. And your mom was like, wow, it has healthy vegetables also, Anargya. Come on, let's order that. Let's order that. And your task was done. You gave a wonderful speech on pizza by telling that it has wonderful stores all across India. That was ethos. All right. Then you told that, okay, it has, mom, it will, don't get disheartened. It will give you the choice of topping that you want. Then mom was very happy. Okay, pathos. And then logos. When you said that, mama, it gives healthy vegetables also. So you use logos also. So all the three parts of the speech were covered, and hence you ended up ordering the pizza. So when you use ethos, pathos, and logos, mama listened to you and you could order the pizza. So this is how when you introduce ethos, pathos, and logos in the speech, people will trust you. All right?
I have got an idea to convince my mom to order this stuff for me.
Okay, now what can I listen to that? How will you do that? Let me know.
No, no.
Oh, you know, okay, you will not tell it to me in front of mama. Otherwise, how will you convince her later? I got the trick. I got the trick, Anargya. Use ethos, pathos, and logos whenever you want to convince someone. You will see that everyone gets convinced with you. Yes, we have learned a new trick. And what is the name of the trick?
Convincing.
With the help of
Ethos,
three
pathos, and logos.
ethos, pathos, and logos. Wonderful, Anargya. You are such a smart learner. All right. Now, uh, we have watched the video. All right. we learned the art of ethos, pathos, and logos, and then we discussed all these things. Now, we are going to observe certain things. The certain things are that. Give me a moment. All right. Tell me a topic that you care about.
Saving the earth.
Same thing, exactly same what Greta Thunberg is concerned about. Okay, so now how will you develop ethos? Why should people, what will you tell to prove that, okay, earth is really harmed a lot? Ethos. Tell
If
me.
you don't stop all this pollution and destroying the earth will no more be safe for us, and we will be extinct.
Okay, we'll get extinct. All right. Now, low pathos. How will we touch my? How will I get touched by your emotion, by your speech? How will I feel sad? So, give me some example. Look at the marine life.
Look at already how many animals are extinct. Megalodon, the dodo, dinosaurs, and much more.
Oh wow!
Many
So,
animals are also endangered, such
wow.
as tiger, lions,
Panda,
pandas, and sparrows.
sparrows, right? Okay. So, using all these things, Anargya, I'm so very sure that you can craft a wonderful speech. All right. Now, I will listen to your speech later whenever we are going to meet in the next class. And now, if I say that where did you do well, I would say that your observation powers were amazing. All right. And if I say how can you improve, then I will say that you should know what should come first, what should come in the middle, and what should come in the end. All right. Because having information is not enough, Anargya. We should also know how do we put everything together so that people believe us. Right? All right. Okay. Now, you did it pretty well, child. Congratulations. Lovely. Okay. Now tell me, how did you like it?
It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. I also enjoyed it. We started with a question in the beginning, if you remember. I asked you that can we be friends? So can we be friends now, like since we have been talking to each other for a while?
Still no.
Oh, we can't be friends? You have broken my heart. Why
I
can't
need
we?
more information.
Okay, so what do you want to know about me? Tell me. I'll give you the information.
And I want a friend that plays with me.
So we'll come on the platform and we are going to do multiple activities now.
I'm not talking about playing on the laptop. I'm
So
talking
can
about.
I be your learning friend, like wherein we can learn together?
Yes.
That we can be, right? Because I even can't come to your house to play because you stay so far off from my place, right? So we can meet here and we can learn. Do you think so? Yes. Oh, so can I be your learning friend? Let me rephrase it. Can I be your learning friend?
Yes.
Would you like to meet me again to learn more interesting facts?
Yes.
I don't hear excitement. Like it seems you don't want to meet me again.
Yes.
The next comes engagement, teachers. Engagement is nothing but the child's involvement, the way the child participates. And as a teacher, you need to know how to intercept that and how to make the child say something, even if it's just a word the child should be able to speak. And you need to maintain your enthusiasm levels throughout the session, teacher. You need to make sure the child feels special, and that is what we need to master. You need to also use all the classroom tools given to you. Since you physically cannot go to the child and pat the child on the back or give a star to the child for that matter, I need to make sure that the child knows that he's doing a good job or she's doing a good job, and we have tools for that. Teachers, we really need to use them. So now let's look at the demo that we have with us. Now over here, you'd see that the teacher maintains fantastic enthusiasm levels, right? And it's emitted even to the child. The child is also enthusiastic throughout. She helps the child participate. The only thing here that wasn't done Two things rather. One would be the classroom tools weren't used, and that's very effective, especially since he was an interested child. I'm pretty sure that if we would have used some of the tools, the child would have been more engaged. And the next thing, teacher, that we need to follow is learn with fun. So the teacher did her best to get the child involved. However, when the child, did not want to answer, he just went towards the end. The teacher could have, as I said earlier, given him a challenge. And it's important for us to enhance the child's skills by giving them challenges. Again, at times, if the child cannot do something, we need to know what else can I do to help this child engage with me. Maybe I have an energy clap, or maybe I sing a song for the child if he's from a younger age group. So I need to know how to build that connect, and that is called your engagement teacher.
All right. Okay. Lovely, Anargya. It was lovely having you as my student. Now I would like to have a word with Mama. Can I have a word with her?
Hello.
Okay. Hello, ma'am. But Anargya, before we start having a word with Mom, I want you to tell me, what did you learn from today's class? 3 key learnings from today's class.
How to make a story.
All right.
On what is the importance of body language in the speech?
All right.
How to use ethos, pathos, and logos correctly.
My goodness, you learned so much in just 1 hour.
It's been 1 hour.
Yes, you didn't realize it was 1 hour. You didn't realize it was 1 hour that we were talking to each other for 1 hour. It means you enjoyed the class. Did you enjoy? Yes or no?
Yes.
All right, great. Okay, so now I'm gonna have a word with mommy. All
Okay.
right.
Bye.
Bye, baby. Bye bye. Take care. And don't forget your deal, Anargya. You have promised that you'll have milk. 2 glasses with hot chocolate to be more powerful.
1 glass.
Okay, 1 glass is a deal. All right. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, so I'm Prerna and I've been taking this session for Anargya. So, first, I would like to know, what was your observation about the session?
Yeah, it was good. Different way of interacting and making it more interesting for him.
All right. So, do you think, Anargya, because as a mom, you know pretty well that was the child enjoying or not. So, do you think that Anargya was enjoying the session?
Yeah, he was enjoying.
All right. Okay. So, ma'am, first, let me tell you a little about Planet Spark. So, I just want to know what do you know about Planet Spark till now?
Planet Spark is about public speaking.
Exactly, right.
Sessions
You
about
got it.
public speaking.
Yeah, absolutely, ma'am. So basically, we happen to be one of the few platforms who have taken this responsibility of creating future public speakers and orators. And we not only work in India, but as you can see on the screen, we are working across the globe. Across the globe, we are already functional in 13 plus countries, and we have been working for past 5 years. We have nearly 4,500 teachers on platform, and we have already trained 22,000 plus students.
All right, teachers, let's get to the closing. Now, the closing is very important. The closing and the urgency. This consists of about 50% of really, us getting the conversion in. Now, why is the closing important? You'll understand with the slides that we have. We've broken it down for you so you really know what needs to be done. The closing is nothing but, you saying bye to the child and then starting the parent teacher meeting on a high. And how is this done? So when you're done with the demo session, you need to ask the child about the three learnings. So if you see on the slide right now, we're talking about the three learnings that the child could have got or the child learned from the class. Very important to check that the parent is there. Now in this particular demo, the teacher did not check in the beginning, but if you see, the parent was there, so that's good. Very important that the presence of the parent is there, otherwise teacher, you won't be able to do the closing. Then introduce yourself to the parent. I do understand that when you've spoken to the parent over the slot confirmation call, you've told the parent who you are. But maybe the parent was busy, missed out on hearing everything about you. So why don't you take this time and talk to the parent in a little detail about yourself? Also, introduce Planet Spark to the parent then. So you first talk about yourself, then you talk about the brand, about how Planet Spark has helped so many students around the globe, what are we doing, and how are we different from everyone in the industry. Now, if we look at the video, the demo class that we have, over here, the teacher has beautifully displayed how she took the three learnings from the child. And that was brilliantly done. She also talked about Planet Spark and what the company offers, which is also very, very important. And then we have the introduction, which she missed. So it's very important to not just introduce yourself by giving your name, but tell the parent a little bit about yourself, like the experience you hold, the number of students you've trained, about 150, 200 students, and the opportunity that Planet Spark gives you to teach students from across the globe and how you've even impacted their lives. So it's very important that I establish who I am, and then yes, talk about the brand just like the teacher did, about our presence in different countries, about the number of students we've trained, the number of teachers we have. So teachers, please make sure this is what you do. This is the first part of our closing.
So, as you see, the new age learning, which demands a lot of confidence in children. So, I personally feel, and I would like to take your opinion on that, that where do you see public speaking, the technique of public speaking in today's world? Where do you see it? Do you think it's important, or it is okay if a child has it, it's all right, but if the child doesn't have, then also it would work?
Yeah, it's important, but just my query was, as he wants to pursue his career. As of now, he is dreaming of being a badminton player.
Mm-hmm.
So, where the public speaking stands in that?
All right, so fine. So, ma'am, be it a teacher or a doctor, since you are a doctor, or be it an engineer, or be it a business person or an entrepreneur, today every person has to convey his thoughts, convey his experiences to the world in order to be able to create more awareness about the sport, in order to create more people like him or her, right? So you wouldn't enjoy watching a person. So take Virat Kohli, or take Mahendra Singh Dhoni, or take Sania Mirza for that matter. You would see that not only do we enjoy their game, we also enjoy when they share their experiences, their journey with us. That only happens because they are confident to face a large group of people. So if they are doing well, but they were not able to share their experiences, or they were not able to share their journey with the crowd or with the people.
Just
Yeah, sure.
yeah.
If they were not able to share their experiences, or if they were not able to share their journey with the crowd as a whole, then I guess they wouldn't have been that famous. So you will realize that all the successful people today are not only successful in their profession, but they are all excellent public speakers. You pick up any person, you pick up anyone from any particular field, and you will realize that that person is not only good at his work or job, but he or she is also good at influencing people. And that is why today girls who enjoy badminton want to be like Sania Mirza, and Saina Nehwal or Sania Mirza, if they enjoy badminton or table tennis. And the boys who enjoy cricket want to be like Virat Kohli, because they have been able to influence people not only with their games, but by the way they talk and by the way they interact with the people. So, no, like having a skill and not being able to communicate. Ma'am, a while, I'll have to connect the charger. Just a little while. Just a little while. Yeah. So, having a skill and not being able to communicate is just like a book which has a lot of content but is not read by others. So, being good at your profession is absolutely required, but being able to communicate your journey, or being able to communicate what all you did to reach here, is also very important, so that you can set a standard, you can set an example for others that, okay, this is the hardship that I've gone through, and with the help of this hardship, I've reached here. So here, public speaking, communication, influencing people comes into play.
Okay.
And yes, please go ahead if you have any other question in your mind.
Nothing as of now.
All right. Okay. So then let me introduce you to the other things. So we just had just a second. Why is it moving so fast? I just need a while. Yes. Okay. So I would like to show you an assessment of.
Yeah, just can I interrupt you?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, one more thing about public speaking. I've seen that in group discussions and all, that learning is even more like you can give directly practical application over there.
All right. Okay.
In a group of students, if you take the sessions.
I totally understood. All right. So, ma'am, my question. So, before a child hits, so for example, if I take badminton only, and you just mentioned that Anargya wants to be a badminton player, so would you teach the skills to him in the beginning, or will you put him in the court right in the beginning?
No. See, I'm not saying of being in the court directly.
I'm taking
My
example.
question was like in a class, like is it one-to-one session or group sessions?
So yes, I'll tell you. So what happens, how public speaking work? Actually, I was giving you the assessment, and then I was coming to that part, that how Anargya did in the session today. But since you have this query popping up in your mind, I would love to answer that before. So see, of course, group discussions facilitate learning, but for that you need to learn what skill is required to participate in group discussions. Giving speech, of course, the final motto is to be able to give speech, but first you need to know what are the nuances that are involved that makes you a good public speaker. So just like, I tell you that, okay, ma'am, for example, let's say he just mentioned that you're a wonderful cook. I don't know much about a doctor, being a doctor, medical things, so I would pick up that thing. So if you read it somewhere that, okay, you add a spoon of salt or you add a spoon of sugar and you add 2 tablespoons of milk.
Just a second.
Yeah, sure. You add 2 tablespoons of milk will not turn you into a cook unless you do it practically, right? And it requires practice. So you just don't participate in a MasterChef competition just by reading it. So first you practice it. So our one-on-one sessions are like those wherein we teach children the skill as to how do you face people, what are the requirements, what are the nuances that you need to look into before getting on the platform. And then once eventually when the child starts learning the nuances, we put the child onto a platform wherein he is actually exposed to a large group of people and he can execute what he has learned during the course. So it is like we have a module. We have first. Should I go ahead with the assessment if you allow me?
Yeah.
All right. So, ma'am, if you must have noticed that when I talk of body language, you must have noticed that Anargya was, of course, good, but he has the potential to reach here, which is excellent because despite multiple reminders, he was finding it a little difficult to involve his hands and his expressions into it, right? Definitely he was confident, but the confidence becomes even more evident when you include your body language into it. So since we could not witness a lot of body language, we would say that confidence was here, but definitely has the power to reach here. I hope you can see the cursor moving on the screen.
Yes.
All right. Voice modulation, it was good. I want him to be better. I want him to change his voice. I want him to take pauses at moments. And I want him to take his voice high when there is something very of high intensity that he's speaking. Structuring is required. Structure was not falling into place. So it was going haywire. So it was decent, I would say, but we have to move many notches ahead to reach here. Fluent, certainly he was fluent because he could speak well when I was listening to his stories. But if you have a better structure, then you have the potential to go here, which is being excellent with your thought process. So this is my assessment, ma'am, which you would certainly reach. You'll get through mail also, which I would be filling up after the session. and that would come to you through a mail. So you would be able to see where Anargya stands in a pool of lakhs of students today, because we are conducting demos and we are evaluating children on a regular basis. So we basically know that, okay, what is the minimum requirement and where the child is standing today. So you will also have a clue as to what is the graph that needs to be followed to reach this level.
Teachers, the next part of the closing is how good are you at using the classroom tools to assess the child? Also, assessing the child on the 5 pillars by relating them to the activities the child has done, and also doing this with confidence and telling the parent how how you're answering the questions that the parents shoot at you. You need to have conviction in the way you deliver it. Now we'll go through all of this, teacher. So one of the most important things here is the classroom tools. Now in the video we watched, the teacher did not use the classroom tools. Now why are they important? When we have a PTM, or rather when our kids or our siblings, or when we were younger and we had a PTM, the teacher would always show a report card, right, telling you what is it that you've done, so your parents would know where you've done wrong, where you needed some improvement. So this is what our classroom tools are like, so that the parent doesn't think this was just a random session. We have it displayed for the parent, so the parent can look and see where the child has done well. You can also correlate it when you're talking about the pillars. So that is how the correlation is done. So you can justify how you have come to that conclusion, why you have assessed the child in a particular way. And you need to do this with confidence, teachers. Now why is it with confidence? Because if I am hesitating, the parent is not going to believe what I'm saying. Consider yourself in the same situation. If someone is not sure about a product that they are giving you, would you buy it? You wouldn't, right? You'd only do it when somebody is extremely sure about what it is that they are giving you, how the services are going to help you. That is when you would go ahead and buy something. So teacher, the parent is the same example here. We need to make sure that the parent is able to correlate. Now correlate, teacher, is only when I tell the parent that I saw Ayan do a particular thing in this particular exercise, and that is why this is what I'm saying needs improvement, and I'm going to help Ayan get that improvement. Planet Spark will do this for the child, and I need to say it with conviction, teachers. The more passionate I am, I'm going to be able to convey this message better. So teachers, you need to be prepared. If I am prepared, my confidence comes in place, my conviction comes in place. And then is my need analysis. Why is need analysis important? Would you buy something if you did not need it? You wouldn't, right? So the parent needs to understand that this is the need and it's going to be solved with the course that is given by Planet Spark and by you as a teacher. So need analysis is very important. So when you do your slot confirmation call, teachers, please ensure you ask the parent, how can I make this demo special for Yan? What is it that you'd like to see as an improvement? By doing this, teachers, the parent in the slot confirmation call itself knows that yes, this demo is going to be different. The teacher took the effort of calling me and is asking me what she can change. This would also reduce, the no-shows that you have that at times get a little discouraging. So please keep this in mind.
All right. Now, if you have any query about the curriculum, you go ahead. Otherwise, I'll start with my explanation, which will barely take 5 minutes now.
You can start.
All right. So, ma'am, I'm sure that you are aware that this is like a time-bound journey. We can't expect like that, okay, we take a month's course and then suddenly we see disaster, humongous changes in the child, right? So it's a time-bound journey. So it's a research-based outcome that a child normally takes 14 to 16 months to showcase the skills of a public speaker. And we have our excellence course, which looks into all the verticals, right from storytelling to speech. Not only this, we also look into how a child should get rid of stage fear, how a child should get into conversation, how a child should manage anger, how you should control your anger, how should you hone your memorizing skills and all. So I would like to say that we in a way try to cover not only grammar or pronunciation or accent. Apart from that, we also look into how you can manage your anger, how you can get into discussions when you're into a party or when you're meeting a stranger, how you can hone your memorizing skills and all, along with grammar, pronunciation, writing stories, saying poetries, creating your own speeches, writing your own books. These are all looked into through the curriculum. So it's basically 165 sessions, which is divided into 15 modules. Just a second. Yes, which is divided into 15 modules, and every module has three lessons. After every lesson, there is an activity, and a combination of activity gives birth to a project. So it is like it's a step wherein there are lessons, then you have activity, then you have projects, and the projects are finally executed on a global platform. Now, why I say global platform? Since Planet Spark is working across the globe, so we have this, do this unique task, which is the USP of Planet Spark, that we get all the children from across the globe, which not only boosts the confidence of the child, but also leads to cultural exchange. So they get to know that what is happening in US, UK, Dubai, Egypt, and they get to know what is happening in India. So it's a kind of cultural exchange taking place through which the children get out of that stage fear, and they get to know how to converse with a large group of people. So storytelling and then public performances. We look into how to turn into poets, how to write stories, and stories also different types. Not only simple story. If you're planning to write a fantasy story, or you're planning to write a sports story. So these are the different articles that are how to be more expressive, how to be a successful orator. So this is a journey of 165 sessions through which we claim that if it is done successfully, we get an amazing public speaker. Not to forget, these are classes mentioned, but we curate it. So today, say if Anargya did not enjoy, for that matter, maybe he's not enjoying this session, maybe copywriting or maybe design thinking, then we will do it later. We will right now do what the child enjoys. So we totally work as per the interest level of the child, keeping in mind how to cover the curriculum.
Okay.
All right, teachers, the next part of the closing is the course recommendation. Why should the parent take this program? Now, you need to explain to the parent what is the transformation journey of the child with the Planet Spark curriculum. How is it going to help the child? So, you need to, portray to the parent that, hey, you know what, when I took the demo class for your child, these were points where I found out, your child could have done better and over exceed if not exceed expectations. This is what I can offer through the course. So this is something I need to highlight, and teachers, this will only happen if you pay attention to the child during your demo class. You need to find out a few points where you feel, oh my god, yes, the child could have done this better, and yes, this was really good about the child. And if you write it down as a parent, the parent will now be happy that yes, this teacher was actually taking an interest in my child, not like a school teacher which has 40 students and she cannot focus. So I need to showcase myself as being like a detective. I'm able to find out exactly how to help this child, what was not working. So please make sure you do a correlation all the time. Don't stick to only 5 points. You want to do a correlation with 7, 8, 10 points, that would be great. Then we go on to recommending the course. As I said, I won't take something if I don't know if I need it. I need to display the excellence course to the parent in a way that the parent on his own wants to take the course from me. So I'll tell him, my course will now help Ayan become a confident speaker. We will help with his basics, from the grammar, the vocabulary, the sentence structure, the way he presents himself, the ideas that he has. Or if he's a child who's not able to speak well, I will start, from a basic thing like, helping the child use different words. So teachers, ensure that you are paying attention, and when you speak with conviction, and that will only happen if you give your 100% to this child when the child is in front of you for the demo. So if you see the demo class that we just had, the teacher was very proactive, she was very energetic, and when she spoke about the transformation journey, she told the parent how exactly it would change the future of this child. She could have done it a little bit with some more conviction, but what she did still was not that bad. She could have improved on it, and that is what we are looking for you to go over and above and speak with conviction, teachers. Okay, teachers, the next part of our closing is the curriculum. This is where the parent really knows what he is getting into for with the child and with Planet Spark. So you need to summarize and focus on the topics based on the need of the child. Now, what does this mean? If I know that there is an Ayan in front of me and he needs help with communication, teachers, when I'm talking about, say, the first 30 classes, I focus on all the topics there. I talk about more points that are there so that when I progress to the writing skills, maybe out there I just talk about a few points because I know the focus is on writing or I know the focus is on speaking. I need to focus on each curriculum set that I have as to the need of the child. So, teacher, this will only happen if you know your curriculum well. If you have good knowledge, if you know what comes in classes 1 to 30, 31 to 60, if you understand that yourself in advance, it's very easy for you to answer anything with passion and conviction so that no idea or no question given to you stumps you. You should be able to answer it. So if the parent asks you, will you help my child with reading? You should be able to correlate through the curriculum and tell the parent how. If the parent asks you, will it help my child with letter writing at school? You should be able to know which curriculum deals with that, as in which classes deal with that, and how you should portray it to the parent. So, complete knowledge is very important. Now, if we consider this demo class, the teacher has done a brilliant job again at it. She's able to, take the parent through everything that could help the child become the best version of themselves. So, teachers, please focus on that. Okay, teachers, now we are coming to the last part of the closing, which is the student clubs that we have. Now, what are the student clubs? They are places where, children with the same interests can interact with each other. So, how do I present that to the parent is very important. So, I'm talking about it, but maybe I miss out on, how the parent can correlate to it and how it's going to help their child. So, we also have global students, we have global clubs as well. We also have to explain to the parent about, what the child would get through community events. So, now let me take you through this in detail. When I talk about a project, the child should be able to display whatever he has learned, right? So here I need to tell the parent that we at Planet Spark don't only give your child instructions on what to do, but also give them a platform to perform. It's like giving a child a toy but not putting the toy pieces inside, but just the instruction manual. That is what happens in maybe a school or any other learning platform, but not with Planet Spark. Here, it's the whole package given to the child. So here I give them the instruction and also give them a platform to build on and to display what they have done. So I need to make sure I tell the parent, we have debates, we have poetry slams, we have competitions for the child so that the child can showcase their talents. But not only that, the sense of belonging that we all like, we feel comfortable with, that does not happen with everyone, correct? It happens when people share the same interest as us. So maybe the child's, best friend at school does not have the same interest as the child, wanting to say become a news reporter or maybe wanting to present something in a TED talk. So here we expose the child to people or other children who have the same interest levels as them. Now this makes the child feel like they belong. They look forward to opportunities when they can interact with these students, and also some of them are not from the same city, not from the same state, but from different countries. And this helps the child understand, oh, you know what, this is how someone from this particular country thinks because this is what they do out there. So the cultural exchange, like how the teacher brilliantly talked about in this particular demo that we've watched, can be easily exhibited and showcased to the parent. The teacher could have spoken more, about the clubs that we have, but teachers, this is important. I've told you now why it's important, but if you miss out on this, teacher, it's like, giving, as I said, the child a sense, a set of instructions but not giving them toys to build it up with. So very important that I establish with the parent why Planet Spark is different and the opportunities we give the child, not only for within the city state, as I said earlier, but globally.
All right. So, yeah, that's all I would like to talk about our platform and our curriculum. I would like to answer any question that you have. Sorry. I would like to answer any question that's in your mind right now regarding Planet Spark.
Fee structure.
For fee structure, I'm not entitled to answer those questions. So I'm the coach. So basically, I explain the teaching methodology, I explain the curriculum and everything. When it comes to fee structure, I would like to take a time wherein our counselor can get in touch with you and he will explain you the entire fee structure. So, could you please convey your comfortable hours wherein you'll be having, like, most of the task is done by me. You are, if you have any question regarding the teaching methodology,
No,
like,
no
have you?
questions.
No question. All right. So, can you convey a comfortable hour when I can ask my counselor to get in touch with you, and he will explain you the entire pricing policy and everything?
I'll let you know.
All right. Also, ma'am, so it was fun interacting with Anargya, and I have a huge group of children with myself. So I would love to see him as soon as possible, and yeah, that would be lovely. So if you could convey an hour, I'll just a random window, like, a random window that, okay, this is the time when he can get in touch with you. My counselor can get in touch with you.
No, it's difficult actually, as per my schedule of patients and my little one, Anargya's younger brother also.
All right.
It's
So how
difficult
do
to
we?
say tell the exact,
All right. So in that case, how do we get in touch with you in case if we want to get in touch with you?
morning around 9.
Okay. So I'll ask my counselor to have a word with you, and maybe by then you'll be in a state to give a window of half an hour to him so that he can explain the pricing policy also to
Yeah,
you.
but I'm not sure if he calls and if I'm busy, I won't be able to give the time.
All right. Okay. Then let's see how do we
I'll
come.
be busy. I'll tell him that I can't give you time right now, maybe some other day.
Yeah. So that
I
call.
cannot assure that.
Yeah, so that call would be just to know your comfortable hours, right? So he will just ask you for the comfortable hours. It doesn't mean that you have to sit at that particular time for half an hour. So whenever it's comfortable for you, he would get in touch with you so that you are at ease to discuss the entire pricing policy. And of course, we offer good discounts also.
Okay, teachers, now we get to the urgency, which is the last part of your demo and the most important part, really, because this is where you tell the parent why you are important as a teacher, why the parent should choose you. And this will only happen, teachers, if I build urgency well. So you need to mention the Planet Spark policy. You need to mention the number of seats that you have. You need to discuss about the discounts that we offer, the discount coupon, as well as you need to speak with conviction. The parent needs to believe what you're saying. See, I'll only believe you if I am able to understand what you're saying. And to be able to understand teachers, you need to prepare your urgency. I would suggest write it down, practice in front of your laptops whenever you have some spare time, so that you can make it perfect when you speak to the parent. So even though maybe you are using a few planned fillers, it should seem that way. It should not seem that you do not know what you're talking about. So in the video that we were watching, you've seen that although the demo was done so well, in most aspects, the urgency wasn't done. And this is why you'll see how the parent is now stalling, not wanting to, get that call back and trying to push it and not make a decision. So what is important here is I tell the parent the policy. So I can tell the parent, Mrs. Agarwal, just wanting to tell you a policy that we follow here at Planet Spark. Since I was the one who took the demo class, I will be assigned as Ayan's regular teacher. A very simple line, teacher. It's there on your slide as well. The parent can read it. So you can go ahead and tell the parent about that. Also, you need to build urgency by telling the parent that maybe you don't have a lot of slots with you. So don't say I have a few slots or I have very few. The best thing would be to tell the parent, I just have two slots that are available with me right now. And since I am a senior teacher, my slots get filled up sooner. So these are things that you can use to tell the parent about urgency. And also you can tell the parent that a lot of students are enrolling into our platforms right now. It's taking time for callbacks, but you will have the team get back to the parent on priority basis. So you can select the earliest slot that you see on your LMS to help the parent make a decision faster. Don't give the parent a lot of buying time. Also, don't keep probing the parent, asking the parent, okay, now you tell me what time you want, or maybe, do you have anything more to say to me? Do you have anything more? No, maybe you leave it at a point where you've told the parent and now he's just waiting for the counselor to call back. And teachers discuss about the discount coupon that we offer. So you can tell the parent that, what, I will put forth Ayan's name so that he gets this discount coupon with Planet Spark, so it makes it a little more comfortable for you. The only thing is it has a validity of 48 hours. but I'll have the team call you sooner so you can, make this decision. Teachers, one point here. The word coupon is pronounced as coupon, but yet some of us, pronounce it as scoop in. Please check the phonetic sound at the end. It's ending with a on. So please make sure. And the only reason I'm pointing it out is you must have given the most brilliant demo, and then you missed out on, saying this word correctly. A parent who is well versed is going to know that you're not able to say some words phonetically, right? And why would you want to lose out? You know what the words you have to say are. So just make sure you're pronouncing it correctly. Again, conviction, very important. Own what you're saying. You need to believe it yourself, teacher. You do want that conversion, right? So you need to make sure the parent believes that you are very important. You have very few slots with you, just two, and the parent should choose you. This is all about urgency, teachers.
You are at ease to discuss the entire pricing policy, and of course we offer good discounts also depending upon the assessment of the child. So since Anargya was doing wonderful, fantabulous, so I have the power to give particular amount of discount to him. So once you have a word with the counselor, we would also let you know that what are the discounts available for the child.
Right.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am, for
Thank you.
sparing your valuable time. It was lovely talking to you and talking to Anargya as
Yeah,
well.
same.
Thanks, Sitan. All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye bye. Take care.
All right, teachers. Now, the next part is the closing course of action. What happens next? So, please make sure you tell the parent, you can reiterate a few points. You can tell them that the counseling team will call them within 24 hours or on priority basis, as we discussed. And then you can also tell them about the diagnostic report being sent out in an hour. As I said before, everyone loves to have a report to see how their child has done. And here you've spoken about it, and now you're telling the parent they will also receive it, which the parent would feel that there is something more to this course. They really are going over and above to help. Then you need to also talk about the child getting an opportunity to become a star kid with Planet Spark. You can also explain about how we portray them or showcase them on our Instagram handles, Facebook, on YouTube. And then you need to politely say bye bye to the parent and as well as to the child once again. So, teachers, these are very important 5 points that you need to follow. The teacher in the demo class did most of them actually and missed out only on one, which is telling the parent that, the child can become a star kid. All parents, teachers, even growing up, our parents always wanted us to be showcased, right? And parents want their children to be the center of attraction. And this has happened even, so now in this digital age where we have places like Facebook, Instagram, people want likes. So here you are telling the parent that, we will mold your child and then give them an opportunity to be featured as well. This will entice the parents. Even parents from a rural background or parents who already know about it can correlate and understand that yes, my child will get some online presence as well. All my child needs is this particular platform and this particular teacher to help me out. And then please make sure, teachers, when you say bye to the parent, it's done in a nice way, not rushed out. Do not, overemphasize on the fact that, you are in a hurry and you need to, disconnect really fast. Please take at least a nice whole minute saying bye to the child again, call the child back, say bye, tell the parent you had a nice time, wish the parent maybe a very good evening or the rest of the day. You can do something like that and then end. Now, the teacher communication skill. Why is this important, teachers? What are we, telling the parent we are going to give the child? Communication skills. We are going to help the child with their body language. And if, as a person, I am not displaying it, teachers, there is no way I can convince that parent otherwise. So when I am taking the demo class, I need to be confident. I need to maintain proper body language. I should not be slouching or, spinning my chair or resting against something or maybe, putting my hand against my face and then sitting down. I need to maintain good body language so that so that I show the parent that I am interested in what they are saying. Also, teachers, very important to keep a medium pace of the session, because imagine a child who does not know English and you are speaking, obviously, yes, with conviction, which is good, but then you're speaking with high vocabulary, you're speaking at a pace the child can't catch up to. What's the point? The child will stop talking to you and you've lost out because the child will feel bored. The parent can see and can feel the vibe of the child getting bored. So don't do that. You can refrain from it. Teachers, at times when you feel you have to lower your pace or even lower the words that you are saying to a way that it can be, understood by the child, please do that. Don't hesitate. No one is judging your potential here. We know that you are superstars teacher, you are able to speak well, but you need to make sure that the parent is convinced about that, right? So if I have to write down my script, I'll do that. If I have to check the pronunciation of words so that it sounds correct, I will do that, because proper communication in terms of having good pronunciation is very important. This is why we say you need to ensure that you have proper pronunciation. You need to be fluent. There should be no time where you're hesitating. Like if I've pulled up a PPT, I should be able to know how to present it. If the parent asks me a question, I should not hesitate, I should answer, because I am well versed, right? And also, maybe today a parent asked you a question, you didn't really know what to say properly. Write it down, come up with an answer, practice it in front of your laptop, so the next time that you're hit with a question like that, you can answer that boldly. Then yes, your grammar needs to always be in place, teachers, because even if I might be a parent who does not speak English well, I can understand the rhythm of whether something is going right or it sounds incorrect. So if your grammar is wrong, teacher, trust me, it's going to sound like it's incorrect and the parent won't choose you. In this particular demo session, the teacher had amazing pace. She had, she had good confidence. She was able to pronounce words correctly. She, in fact, corrected the child when the child, mispronounced a few words. So that showed that the teacher is well versed. The conviction came out here, teacher. So please make sure that you have good body language and you speak well. Supremely important. Right, teacher. So now what's the next thing? It's your energy levels, right? Something so easy, but some of us really forget to do that along the way. If you look at this demo session, have you noticed how the teacher started the demo class with a lot of energy, even till the end? She maintained the same energy, the same interest levels, and that was emitted even to the child, and even the parent felt it. She was smiling. So that's very important. It's like it's contagious, teachers. If I smile, everybody smiles, right? If you yawn, everybody yawns. So if I emit energy, that I'm enthusiastic, even a child who's not speaking will feel that vibe, teachers, and then get interested. And the most important person, as I keep saying, is the parent who may be sitting at the side. He cannot see that maybe your facial expressions are happy, or you're using hand gestures. He can only hear the tone of your voice. So voice modulation, the way you emphasize on some words, the tone that you're using, the way you're speaking, the energy levels, very important, teachers. Throughout the session, it needs to be maintained. And that is very, very important to get a successful demo. Let me tell you this way how energy levels and why voice modulation is important. Let's look at Mr. Amitabh Bachchan, for example. He can read the back of a chips packet, meaning the ingredients to us, and we would all stop and listen. Why? Because of the tone, the way he speaks, the zeal. So that is something, teachers, even you need to learn. I'm sure you have it in you, but please bring it out and showcase it. The next part, teachers, is very, very important. So please pay attention. Out here, we have a zero tolerance level to any teacher who is portraying something negative throughout the session, maybe speaking impolitely, does not have good behavior, maybe rude with the child or rude with the parent. So please make sure you're always humble, always, you're making sure the parent is having the chance to speak out to you and you're not overstepping any lines, teachers. Please be sure about that. This is an online platform. Your intent might not be there, but maybe it came across that way. So please make sure that your words are very polite. Because if not, teachers, that would be the end of the line, for your career here with Planet Spark, where it's an amazing place to work, and I wouldn't want that to happen to any one of y'all. So, teachers, we are done for now. I hope you've taken in these success mantras really, and I'm waiting to really see the magic that you create. Wishing you all the best, teachers. Thank you.